All right, welcome to what is basically the final lap of your industry study. This lesson is all about quality control. Locking in those crucial marks that can really make or break your final grade. Let's make sure all the hard work you've poured into this thing really pays off.
First up, let's just talk numbers. The last two parts of your assessment, that's the concept map and the bibliography, they're worth a combined 15 marks.
And those 15 marks? They're anything but small change. We're talking about a massive 30% of your total grade for this entire project. Yeah, this is exactly where you either cement a top result or, if you're not careful, watch one slip through your fingers.
And hey, that's not just me saying it. This is direct feedback from the markers. I have personally seen absolutely brilliant essays get dragged down to a lower band just because the student got lazy or rushed this final part. A simple slip-up here can genuinely undermine so much of your great work. The stakes are definitely high.
The difference between a decent mark and a top mark often just comes down to presentation. You can see the contrast right here. The messy, rushed, hand-drawn version on the left versus our goal on the right. A clear, detailed, extensive digital map that just screams professionalism.
Okay, so let's start with a big one, the 10-mark concept map. You've got to remember, this is not just a brain dump. It's a structured, visual summary of your entire study. We're aiming for a perfect 10 here.
The marking guide uses words like detailed and extensive. So what does that actually mean, in practice? How do you guarantee you're hitting those top-tier criteria and not just settling for basic?
First things first, and this is a complete non-negotiable, your map has to be digital, and it has to be clear and easy to read. Things like Canva or Lucidchart are absolutely perfect for this. Trust me, a clean, professional-looking map makes it so much easier for the marker to see the quality of your work and just give you the marks.
Now for the content of the map itself. Your structure needs to be spot on. Don't just list random departments. You have to show the clear chain of command, exactly like you see here, starting with the government, which appoints the board, then down to the managing director, who handles the day-to-day operations, and then branching out to the key divisions.
Next, legislation. And please, just writing the word laws on your map is a one-way ticket to a basic score. To be extensive, you have to name the specific acts. The two you absolutely cannot afford to miss are the Australian Broadcasting Corporation Act in 1983 and the Work Health and Safety Act 2011. Get them in there. And when we're talking about work health and safety, the detail is absolutely everything. Generic stuff like slips and trips won't cut it. You have to be specific to this industry. We're talking about things like ergonomic risks, like eye strain from staring at editing suites for hours, or the physical hazards, like all the cables and equipment creating trip hazards on a busy studio floor. This is what shows the marker you've actually analyzed the workplace. All right, let's switch gears and talk about the bibliography. This should be 5 of the easiest marks you'll ever get, but it's a section that's just loaded with simple traps that can cost you big time if you're not paying close attention. And I really need you to pay very close attention to this next bit, because there is a major contradiction in your assessment documents that you absolutely positively need to know about. And here it is. Your assessment notification clearly states you must use APA 7th edition referencing. But the marking rubric, the thing you're actually using to grade you, awards marks for the Harvard style. Now, these are two completely different systems. If you use the wrong one, you could lose marks for something that isn't even your fault.
So, what do? Simple. Here's your action plan. Do not guess. Step 1 is to clarify. You need to email your teacher or faculty leader immediately and get a final definitive answer on which style they want. Once you have that locked in, you move on to step 2. You audit your sources.
And this brings us to what I call the rule of 3. The assessment requires a minimum of 3 examples for every single source type you see listed here. Before you even think about submitting, go through this like a checklist. Do you have 3 books, 3 journal articles, 3 video clips? It's a non-negotiable if you want to get full marks here.
Okay, let's bring it all home. You've already done the heavy lifting with your research and your essays. This final polish is just about making sure all that effort gets the top grade it truly deserves.
It really just boils down to these 2 simple actions. Nail the specific structure and details in your concept map and sort out that referencing problem before you submit. These are the 2 keys to unlocking that final 30%.
So, let me say it one last time. Get the structure right, fix the referencing, and those 15 marks are yours for the taking. This isn't about luck. It's all about careful, systematic quality control.
Look, you've put in the hours. You've done the research. The hard part is over. Now it's all about the execution. That final 30% is just sitting there waiting for you. Go and claim it. Good luck.